people in California recently with the 14 people that they killed. Their co-workers. They killed their co-workers out of nowhere. Their co-workers gave them a baby shower, and they had a party for them. And they went in and they killed 14 of them, and others badly wounded. You look at Paris, where 130 people were killed, and tremendous numbers of people in the hospital. They'll be in hospitals for the rest of their lives, and many will die. What are we doing, folks? What are we doing? So this is called the snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Oh, well," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the broken snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a curvature of silk, and then laid him by the fireside with honey and some milk. Now she hurried home from work that night. As soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken had been revived. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the broken snake. She then clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you just definitely would have died." Now she stroked his pretty skin, and then she kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. "I saved you," cried the woman, "and you've bit me. Heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die." "Oh, shut up, silly woman," said the reptile with a grin. "You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in." Right? Right? No, I don't think so. You think Kasich does that? I don't think so. I don't think so. You think Ted Cruz does that? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. So look, we have so many. It's such an honor. You have seats and yet you're standing. That's excitement, right? Look at this guy. I won't tell you. I won't tell you. You know, it's interesting. Last time, a couple of days ago, I love you too, dog. Who said that? So beautiful. Thank you, honey. I love you too. That's why I'm doing this, to protect people like you. Ivanka just had a beautiful grandson from me. And that's why I'm doing it. People say, actually, I was on a great radio show this morning, and he said to me, we had a great talk, and then he said, "Mr. Trump, can I ask you one more question? Why are you doing this? You've built up a $10 billion net worth. You have a great company. You have a great family. And here you are on Saturday morning at 6:30 in the morning talking to a radio show. Why are you doing this?" I actually said, "Good question," right? But I said, you know what? My whole theme is make America great again, true. Make America great again. We're going to make our country so great again. We're going to make it so strong again. I've gotten to see so many people. I mean, like today, thousands, at least 5,000 people are outside. I feel terribly about it, and we'll come back. But at least 5,000 people outside. The last time, it was worse. We had 7,000 or 8,000 people that were in this hall that was like a secondary hall, and we had, loudspeakers and stuff. But there's something going on. There's like a movement. It's been on Time magazine 4 times now over a short period of time. And it's a movement. What's going on is a movement. I'll tell you, Wisconsin is very important because I think we're going to win before we get to the convention. But if we get to the convention, the establishment politicians who want to protect their jobs, who want to protect their paychecks, who want to protect all of the different things like the lobbyists and the special interests, They don't like me. Now, I used to be a part of the establishment. I was at the highest level. I gave lots of money, $350,000 to the Republican Governors Association. I gave a tremendous amount of money. I was establishment. I was like the king of the establishment in a certain way. And then I ran and I wasn't the established. Somebody said, you know, Trump, I don't think he wants our money. And then I announced I'm self-funding. You know, I'm totally self-funding. So I'm not asking them. And, you know, coming over here, I said actually this morning when we were in the car, I said, you know, I don't think that I'm getting any credit for self-funding, okay? I'm not getting credit for turning down tens of millions of dollars. Bush had $148 million that he raised, which is very impressive. Unfortunately, couldn't get anybody to vote for him. You know, that's the problem. That's a big problem. Who said that? See, I won't repeat that. You know, I just get myself in trouble. But you know, it's very funny actually. It's called branding, right? Branding, forever branded. But Bush had $148 million, and you know, like in New Hampshire, he spent like tens of millions of dollars. I spent very little. I came in first. Then in South Carolina, other guys spent tens of millions, just so much more money. We came in first. But you know, I'm self-funding, and I don't know that I get the credit for it. I don't know, when you go and you say, well, Cruz is okay. He's not, by the way, but let me tell you. No, he's not. He's not okay. He would do such a terrible job. You know, here's a guy who filibusters in the Senate. Now, you know, say what you want about these senators. These guys have been there a long time. They're professionals. They're not, you know, stupid people. And he stands up and he filibusters and he reads poems and he reads everything else and he's filibustering. I've had a day and a half. He's never done anything. He never gets anything approved. Then he says, Donald Trump will negotiate. He will negotiate. Of course, that's the way it was. Our founders sort of had in mind. You got to negotiate. But I'll negotiate well. I'm not going to be. You know, Cruz thinks he's going to take this hard-line position and everybody's going to eventually come. It doesn't work that way, folks. It doesn't work. So he stood up for, what, a day and a half, and he filibustered, and he left. And these senators are sitting back, and they're saying, when's he going to leave? Let's see. Okay, oh, he's still talking, right? He's still talking. And then they, you know, that's the way it works. Look, you're not dealing with babies. So what happens is he never did anything. He never accomplished anything, hasn't done anything. And folks, he's in favor of Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is a disaster. And worse than being in favor, and he really pushed it, but worse than being in favor, the single greatest weapon used against you and everybody, I mean, used against our country, is currency devaluation and currency manipulation. That's the big weapon. And when I started talking about it a year and a half ago when it was conceived, I said, you got to talk about currency manipulation. Because if you look at China, what they do is they devalue their currency and they kill us. You look at other countries like Japan and others, they devalue their currency and they absolutely kill us. So you have to go out and you have to look at currency manipulation. And if you're not going to put that in, well, Cruz would not hear of currency manipulation. Now, somebody told him you can't do it. One of his people that give him a lot of money. They said, you can't do it. Why would he not allow currency manipulation? In other words, having clauses that you can't do that. In other words, it's a violation, right? Or it's a default. It's no good. So Cruz, not only is he pushing it, which is terrible, but he won't allow the single biggest thing, a block, on the single biggest problem that we have, which is currency devaluations and currency manipulation. Now, you tell me that's going to be good for you? He's going to be a disaster, okay? I don't care. Somebody said, oh, you shouldn't say such bad things about he's a Republican. Give me a break, okay? I'm here. Hey, if it works, great. If it doesn't work, great. I'm going to either do a great job or I'll be waving hello. I'll be coming to Wisconsin to see my friends. I don't care. But look, they asked me, they said, why are you doing it? So many people. Even my family, they say, Dad, why do you want to do this? I want to do it because this country has given me so much, and I hate watching what I'm watching on television. I hate seeing President Obama. True. I hate seeing President Obama today saying that Iran has violated our agreement. I mean, what did he think? He's now complaining about Iran violating the agreement. What the hell did he think? He's like a baby. He's like a baby. Now, can you imagine? I mean, what the agreement's 2 seconds old. This guy, the ink isn't even dry. But they did it weeks ago. They were buying missiles from Russia. They were testing missiles. They don't care about him. And now they take the $150 billion. They don't spend it in Boeing. They buy 118 Airbuses. They don't want to buy Boeing. Then somebody on top of that says, well, they have a restriction. They're not allowed to buy in this country. Who the hell put that restriction on after we give them $150 billion? We give them $150 billion, I want to take the restriction off, right? Fast, because I want the money. I mean, these people are just terrible. It's like amateur hour. So then today I hear Obama is very unhappy with Iran because he feels that they haven't lived up to the spirit of the agreement. What the hell did he think was going to happen? They defaulted on day one. I mean, they were doing things on day one, and everyone was telling him. He said, that can't be possible. That's the way life works. These are vicious people. These are great negotiators. You know, the Persians are great negotiators.